Thank you. No, that was great. I think talking about money is uncomfortable. So it's really nice to be able to open the discussion for it. Yeah, $20,000. Oh my gosh. That is a big difference.
And you can't, and it sucks to be that person to be like, I don't think you should work there, because if, in my mind, if you're getting paid so below even average of what, it's like they're not treating you well either, because they don't even respect you enough to pay you. It's like, what kind of conditions are you working at? Like, you got to really have that confidence. You have to be able to advocate for yourself and be like, no, like I'm better than this. I could have zero experience, but I know I'm better than this shit. Like, there's always another opportunity for you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, don't settle for sure. Any other questions? Oh, do we have a question? Oh yeah, Raquel has a question. Yes, go ahead. We'll give her a second.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if I need to like share my face either. Do I need to do that?
You don't have to if you don't want to. But you're welcome to. You're welcome to as well.
I'll just share because I'm an alum. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, Raquel is also an alum. Raquel graduated with Bree and myself.
Hi. Yeah. So one of my questions, and I love that Judy keeps talking about compensation. First, I'm glad that you guys are having this panel. One of my questions that I have is, as far as you three, when you speak on like, I guess, negotiations or even, what's the word I'm trying to use for it? Like navigating between others, like how did like networking help you get to the place that you're in right now?
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. As far as networking goes in my position that I'm in right now, like directly connected. Also that happened with my position that I was in with that I had in New York as well. Like, you guys don't remember her, but Miss Hancock had a student who worked in New York at the firm that I wanted to work at. Simply said, hey, I want to introduce you. She introduced me. I got the job because I knew the guy who worked there. And that was part of the reason why they hired me, because I was Tech Alum and they loved their Tech Alum, all that. And then I actually got the job that I'm at now in Little Rock because of Nikki Crane, who is a year or two older than us. She works in Little Rock and is really good friends with one of the partners here. Got me connected. They hired me. So networking is super important. That's probably how you will get a job. Not saying that you can't cold call or anything like that, because that definitely happens, but it's definitely a lot easier whenever you know people. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm not on the panel. I was gonna say my experience, but y'all are on the panel, so I wanted to hear what you guys had to say about that.
Go ahead. Say what you
go ahead.
Say what you have to say.
Okay. Hi everybody. I work currently at Stantec. For me, I can speak to me getting the job at Stantec was because of knowing somebody. And the person that I knew was actually, we knew Robbie Vogel. I don't know if y'all are still doing the grad program with structures added or whatever. But I knew Robbie Vogel, and Robbie Vogel actually introduced me to my boss right now. And so just staying in contact over, I guess, the last 2 years, when they had an opening, she reached out to me on LinkedIn, which if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, please make one. And it just went from there. So much so that the top 2 firms in the world, I never had to show a portfolio. So that's a big thing. It also goes hand in hand with what each one of y'all have been saying, just advocating for yourself. I've worked at probably 4 different firms since COVID, I guess you can say. And like Judy has been saying, talking about compensation, every single place that I went to, I go up $10,000 just to see what they're gonna give me.
I love that. That's great. Congratulations.
Not that you get it all the time, but just the same way we sit in front of Caldwell, I don't know who else is there right now, all those professors, if you're able to sit and talk in front of them and advocate for your design and your project and have a firm belief in why you think this can be built, you're able to go in front of somebody and say, hey, you need to pay me this, this, and that. And they'll follow up with it. And like Danae spoke on, like, if they won't do that, maybe like 50% that's not the environment for you. Just depends on what else comes with it and things like that. So like, it's the same thing that you guys do day to day with studio. If you can go and talk to Miss Lee.
I'm so old.
About all of those things, be able to speak up for yourself. And it's okay. It's okay to say no too. Like, let me tell you, like they've been saying, they're looking for architects, they're looking for grads, they're looking for somebody to train up and all those different things. So have confidence. Like, if you don't have the confidence now, find it. And you have time to find it, but it's the same negotiation, even negotiating with your parents on why you should stay out until, 10, 11, 12, all those different things that we've done. It's the same thing. But just going forward, understanding that networking is going to get you, it's about who you know, a lot of times than what you know sometimes, because they'll teach you. They don't say that, but
they will.
Yeah.
They will teach you. That's a big thing. They will teach you that. And I would just, emphasize that networking and people who you know is very, very important. And don't be afraid to reach out to those people, because having like some common link between people, it'll go a long way.
It does. All of the cliches of it's like who you know, not what you know. It's very true. And to a point, it's like, oh, okay, maybe it's a little unfair not having connections, but you got to think of how, it's normal to prefer somebody that you feel like you have something in common with. And it makes that person comfortable, it makes you comfortable, so it makes you able to work and not, and it does a lot of things of being friendly. It's kind of a little bit goes back to code switching as well. Like when you're talking to clients, you want to have a certain personality. You want them to like you because they could be referring new business. They have friends that might need work done, or they have business connections. And it's very important to have a professional side where people are like, I enjoy doing business with you. I think you're fair, or I enjoy having a conversation with you. And it's like, I don't mind helping you out because like, you're my friend kind of thing. It's like, scratch your back. There's so many like cliches about it, and it really is true.
And I will finish this off by saying this is not at all to scare anyone away from applying to where they feel like they need to be. So even if you don't have a connection, like connections are very great, very, very great. Let me get that straight. It's very good. But at the same time, still apply, still go for the job that you feel as though you need and get the experience and things like that, even if you don't have the connection.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
great point. I cold called my job now, and it did work. So I'll say that. But my last job, it was actually my ex's dad that gave me that job. So connections in weird places, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I always say that architecture is a really small world. Like, you never want to burn a bridge, right? And you never want to like make enemies in this industry, because if you do, it's like, oh well, so and so ripped me off this one time, and that person's knows like 10 other consultants, who knows 5 other consultants, who knows, et cetera, et cetera. And like, word gets around. Like, if you're not professional, I won't say any of you are mean. I don't think any of you are mean, but like, maybe if you're not professional, or if you like drop the ball on something, and mistakes happen, but like if you drop the ball consistently, right, like your name gets out like that, and that's not a good look, right? So it's like remember the architecture world is small. Your peers here that you know, your upperclassmen, your lowerclassmen, those are future connections. That's like your network. You're developing that right now. And then when you go out into the world, let's say tomorrow tech lets me go because they're cutting the budget or something. I'm probably going to call Bree and be like, please help me get a job. Right. Like, and that's your friends here also kind of like your backup system too. I think knowing where all your friends go after this is, I mean, I've like kind of kept quiet tabs on everyone, like where people end up. And that's fun, but it's also you're keeping track of your network, and that's just like on LinkedIn. So kind of developing your professional face and knowing that I may know someone that you want to know, right? Or I may know someone that you want to know, right? And that could lead to something really good for you too. Yeah. I think we are a little bit over an hour now. I don't know if we have if we don't have any other pressing questions, we have any pressing questions? Anything you guys want to get off your chest? Okay, maybe not. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll do it at the end. Yeah. Okay. So, thank you so much for joining us. I think this was a really great way to start. This is honestly the first kind of event that we've had. So we really appreciate your time and your energy to kind of show up for us. If we can get a round of applause for our guest speakers. Yeah, thank you. Yes. And thank you so much, Raquel, for joining and like kind of following with us. That's awesome. Hopefully we can have you back for some future kind of lectures or something like that. Yeah, I'll call you. But we really appreciate it. Again, it's nice to hear from familiar faces and from people that know the program and can kind of give us maybe some reassurance, like we're going in the right direction, you know, that this is not all for naught. So we really appreciate it. But yeah, if you guys have any closing statements you'd like to give, or
I would like to say, since we're talking about connections, if any of you, and I can probably speak for all of us, if any of you are needing to talk with any of us or getting advice, have us look at your portfolio, anything like that, please reach out to Anne, to get our number or get our email or anything like that, because especially with the group of girls that we have going, like we've seen a lot, we've done quite a bit. So like definitely like reach out, like
for sure.
start building your connections now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I can give that information out if you would like it afterwards. I have y'all's email. Raquel, if you want to drop your email in the chat, then I can share that as well. Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, again, we really appreciate your time. Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you in the future, and I hope you guys have a good night. Yeah.
Thanks
Bye.
for having us.
Thanks.